Okay, what's up, everybody? We're going still on chapter 3. One of the I don't even know if this is one of the last few case studies. Maybe we'll get to the penthouse one, which is one after this. Yeah, let's get into it. This is a power of awareness, yeah, chapter 23. I'm going pretty in depth, like I always do for anybody new. Okay. So, chapter 23 of the business day. All right, let's get to the text here. So, story illustrates the successful use of the law by New York business executives. So, in 1950, an executive of the bank told him that his personal progress and advancement was dim. He said that he couldn't do anything with his current job, and that if he wanted to progress, then he could find another job. Okay, he didn't want big money, but he wanted to have to maintain his home comfortably and take care of his kids' education, which he couldn't do on his present income. So he felt discontent, yeah, and an intense desire to secure a better position, more money. He wanted to manage an investment funds of a large institution like a foundation or a great university. Okay, so like all the others, Neville starts with the explaining the law of assumption, and that the present situation is only a manifestation of the concept of self. Okay, so this is just another way of saying current state of consciousness, current state of awareness, whatever you accept to be as true is going to be how your reality manifests. So your current state is your concept of self, or is dependent on your concept of self. And you could just change your concept of self. So in order to change the concept of self, okay, so this is important. That's the goal, the main goal, number one goal: change concept of self. Don't get caught up in the steps. The goal is to change concept of self. So in order to do that, he's going to do the every night before falling asleep in imagination, being retiring at the end of one of the most important successful days of his life. Joining the kind of organization that he yearned to be with, exactly the same capacity that he wanted. So going straight to the end, not shaking his hand or something, shaking the hand of the person giving him a job. It's going straight to the end. Like he is having what he wants. Not he just got what he wanted, but he's been having what he wanted for a while. So that's going to the end. In later lectures, in other lectures, for anybody not familiar with Neville, he talks about living in the end. So yeah. Okay, just imagine he actually close the deal. Okay. So and then Neville, so this is the third kind of main point. So the first point is change concept of self. That is the main purpose of that you are to do. Like an explanation of your current situations because of the concept of self you have. So change concept of self. Do that by imagining you have what you want already. Or you are in the state of having what you want already. And then every night before falling asleep. Okay, and then this is the degree to which he had him do the method. So completely filling his mind with the feeling. If he were to do that, then he would experience a sense of relief. Okay, so it's a little caveat there. So look right here. Okay, this is more. Yeah, this is a obstacle. So whenever something bad, like I'm getting into the habit of first of all being present. If there's something in my life that I don't like, it's very important to face it head on. There's a social situation that I was like, I didn't like how it was turning out, and then when I was present with that, I was like, oh, wait, I'm imagining the complete opposite. Like this is just a part of me learning, and you may go through struggles. There's a lot of reasons why you go through certain struggles. I found that a main reason why I go through struggles is to make this body, this person, this identity stronger. because I was raised in a way that didn't have a lot of adversity, and so I find that with every struggle that I'm confronted with, it is an opportunity for me to learn from it and grow stronger in whatever way, mental, emotional, whatever. Anyway, a little bit about obstacles there. Should become a life coach now. So this is the conditional here. And I know I'm going into the method. It's not that important, but in case anyone puts a lot of remembers this phrase here, oh, I have to feel a sense of relief. That you don't have to. This is a conditional statement that Neville put on. That you may feel a sense of relief, you may not. Yeah. Completely feeling with the mind, feeling, okay, contentment that comes with the fulfillment of desires. Okay, so I said that you may or may not feel a sense of relief and contentment, like Neville said that the executive would, but I want you to think whenever you've been in a SATS or lived in the end, like your feeling, your attitude changes for the better, and so but I just don't want to get I just don't want people to get hung up on this little thing. Oh, I have to feel a certain way. That's not what you should be focusing on. What you should be focusing on is right in here. It's concept of self. Concept of self. Okay. What does your concept of self say? You have to be present in order to notice what your concept of self says about you or what it is. Okay. All right. Okay. If he did this faithfully, then he would get the position he wanted. He kind of did. Hang on to see how this happened. This resulted. Okay, so a little bit of time mentioned here. So first week of December, night after night, he followed the procedure, and then in February, somebody asked him if he would be interested in joining the foundation. So right now, I mean, but I'm not even going to talk about the time. It's not important. So substantially okay. So this is important here, and I wrote it down here. He's in a position far exceeding. Whoa. Hold it. Do that again. Whatever. No, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, so he was again. This is another example of not getting exactly what you want, but getting more than what you want. And yeah, it's not anything. I'm not even gonna say with that. It's a quick and easy, quick and dirty. Okay. I think that this is just me talking. This is why the feeling of the wish fulfilled is more important than the actual thing, because you don't know what's best for you as a human. You as a human do not know what you should get. You may want something, and that desire may lead to something else that is better for you, but you don't know. There's something else that decides if you get something better or not. That's my opinion. I don't think Neville says anything about a force that chooses when you get something and what you get versus like when you want something and you get something different. But it's better for you. I don't know. It's happened to me before. But I've also gotten things that I've wanted. So I mean, what are the rules there? I don't know. All right, I don't think I have anything there. The hypothesis that I was gonna. Oh, right. Yeah, I just want to put importance on the feeling. So the only reason why I bring up the feeling is because the feeling is a result. Okay, it's very, very, very important that I drive this home. The feeling is a result. The cause of the feeling is the concept of self. Okay, because if you are something different, you will start to feel in accordance with that being. Okay, so if you think I have this thing that I want. I'm in my dream house right now, you will start to feel like you're in your dream house, and you feel all the feelings that are associated with your new concept of self. Okay, this is very important. Don't. I got caught up in feeling. Oh, well, I need to feel, like forcing myself to feel. It's not. It's what I should, force myself into doing. And what I do now is just imagine myself first person. This is my technique. First person doing whatever, and the feeling naturally comes. I don't have to worry about it. It's, it's not something that I picked up easily. I've been at this for like a year. Yeah, there's like hypnosis stuff that you can do. But I don't know the best way, and I'll put time into that. I'll put more time into this to figure out the most effective way to get what you want done. Anyway, let's move on to the last. No, it's not definitely the last. The next story. Okay, let's get into it. So, man and his wife have attended his lectures for years. Okay, so this couple has been at least attending lectures for a long time. And he points out that two people concentrating on the same objective, but that's happened before a lot with the wife of the sick person and the aunt with the niece. Anyway, so what makes this story different from others is that they have been doing this for a long time. They have at least attending the lectures. So, but Neville says that besides attending the lectures, they, as a result, they were also a exceptionally devoted couple, and their life was entirely free from any problems or frustrations, and completely happy. That is very rare, I think, for life to be completely happy and free from. Anyway, is that a result from using the law of assumption? I mean, one can guess. If you have if you have relatively large control over your environment, what would you need to be unhappy for? Okay, so for some time, the couple wanted to move into a larger apartment, and they wanted a penthouse. So these are the things that they wanted in the penthouse. So a huge window, magnificent view. One side of the wall is mirrored, wood burning fireplace, and it must be New York City. So this devoted couple who wanted a bigger apartment, all these things in it, their life was completely happy and free from frustrations or problems. They looked for months. Okay, they searched in vain. Whether that is a frustration, I don't know. But it's just interesting to find out here. The situation. I'm not contradicting Neville. It's just, I mean, maybe they weren't frustrated. But either way, the reason why I'm pointing this out is because even Job. I know Job may not have happened. I needed to research on that. But it's very likely that Job was just a story to illustrate that good things happen, bad things happen to good people, and it's for their own good. At the end, Job, had all these greater things, but again, it's likely that it was just a story to illustrate how, I guess while we're in this world, I think Neville says that this world is hell. While we're in hell, bad things could happen, and it's for I don't know for what purpose. We don't know all the stories. That's the other thing that you should consider when reading about stories about the law of assumption. You can only know what you can perceive. If you know the person, if you just read about it, you only know what you perceive if someone tells you, and you only know what someone tells you about it, or what you find out about it secondhand. Okay, you don't know all the nuances and details and circumstances of the situation, why things happened the way they did. Um, um, yeah, yeah. So don't read these stories and base your meditate or manifestation practice on these stories. These are just to illustrate. I think these are to illustrate how it can be, or that it actually works. Um, does it say why? Hold on, I'm gonna scroll up. Okay. It's helpful to cite. So helpful for maybe your own belief, and the reader reading this book. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to. All right. So the couple. Yeah. So they were searching for months for this apartment, for this penthouse. Penthouse. I don't know the difference between. Oh, it's okay. Penthouse is a type of apartment. Wait, the situation was bad. The commonality with these stories is, oh no, all these bad things are happening. It's very unlikely um, that it would happen. So take that as a vote of confidence in the law of assumption, at least. Um, okay, there were waiting lists, and special deals, new apartments being leased before they were completed. So in the spring, after months of fruitless seeking, they found one that they considered, and it was in Upper Fifth Avenue, facing Central Park. Good view, I bet. But it was not subject to rent control, and the yearly rent was exorbitant. So during the spring, they continued. They kept looking for penthouses, but always came back to that one. And they decided to increase the amount they would pay substantially, made a proposition which the agent for the building agreed to forward to the owners. Okay, so they found one that they liked, and after searching for, but it was too expensive, and after searching for one that they didn't find, they agreed on the price. They agreed to up their price. Right? Yeah, I think this is important too to note. This extremely devoted couple, happy, no problems, no frustrations. They they didn't use the law of assumption in the months before, in the months they were looking for the apartment. When they found out the price was too high, I mean, again, this is what the story says. I don't know what happened for real. It's interesting to note though that the story was taken that way. Uh, how Neville says it, he said it was at this point. So he explicitly says, well, it was only until here that they determined to apply the law of assumption without telling each other. Okay, so night after night, they did the falling asleep in the desired state. And the husband was imagining the view, cocktails with his friends. All right. Yeah, the wife was doing the same thing. Okay, so several weeks went by, and they continued to imagine as they fell asleep. Okay, so several weeks went by, and then something unexpected happened. One day, one of the employees in their own apartment building told them that the penthouse was vacant, and they were surprised because it's really desirable. There was a long wait list, and it was kept quiet by the management because they couldn't consider applicants for some reason. Okay, so the couple made a request, and then they were told it was impossible. Another obstacle, another thing. It's literally impossible. It's very unlikely to happen. But does that stop anybody in these stories? No, it doesn't. Despite this couple, so again, this is what's it? Brazen impudence. Okay, that's a common thread in a lot of these. Stubbornness. Okay, so despite the impossibility, they didn't. They had meetings with the management, and then they got the apartment, and it was about the rent that they were willing to pay, and the location, the large terrace, was beyond their expectations. So this is another example where by. I don't know if they again, this is a story. They imagined, what did he imagine? He imagined himself sitting on the terrace overlooking the park. So he imagined something completely different, I'm assuming. Because it says the terrace, and it surely wasn't the apartment that they ended up getting. So he imagined himself doing something else, and he got something. What was it? Was it way better? Yeah, beyond they got our apartment beyond all their expectations. And they got the mirror and the wood burning fireplace and everything. So they got what they wanted and more. The couple did, after assuming that they would, that after living in the state and sleeping in the desired state of being, I'm assuming, in the apartment that they wanted, after raising their price. So they this I don't want to pass this by lightly. They adjusted to their reality. Okay? The couple said, well, this is how it's going to be. I don't know what they were thinking, but but the story says that they agreed to change the amount that they would pay. They were not stubborn in the amount they would pay. They just slept in the state of being in the apartment that they wanted. So it happened anyway. It happened regardless. That's like, if that doesn't blow you guys' mind, like, because it's happened to me. It happened to me. I think I talked about it in a couple of videos ago, where I gave up. I was like, well, I guess my sleep schedule is going to be a certain way. I gave up, and then the very next day, the thing that I wanted to have happen happened after months of it not happening. It was like an internet, like a technical issue that really fucked up my life. Okay, mineral vision. Yeah, so they got yeah, so they got what they wanted tomorrow. All right, so this video got kind of long. Next we'll go over the, oh no, that was the last one. Holy moly, chapter 24, failure. Oh boy. Some of you guys may like it, some of you guys may not. I don't know. I'll do my best. Yeah, stay tuned. All right, everybody, take care. Manifestingly, I don't know, come up with a happy manifesting.